Oh gosh, hi beautiful souls. Wagwan. Welcome to another episode of Her Sacred Soul Space. I am Marcia C and I am here with my beautiful soul sisters, Dr. Fisher and Yolande Azimari. And we are super excited. Yes, hi. We're super excited as always to be here with you in our space. To anyone who's new joining us, welcome. We're happy to have you. And to our soul tribe, thank you so much for always supporting us. Thank you so much for liking our page, our YouTube channel, and for sharing, because sharing is what?
Caring,
y'all. Yes. As you know, in this space, what we do, we just have great conversation. Those conversations that expand us and get us thinking about who we are, what we want to do, our purpose, and ignite our soul as we do our thinking and as we discuss several topics, right? Before we go into our major topic for the day, today's Jamaica Independence. Jamaica Independence. So happy Independence, Jamaica. We love you to all the fellow Jamaicans out there. Big up on yourself. Just take care of yourself, exercise love and peace always, and just believe in yourself and know that you're never alone and you can always do all things through Christ, okay? Through the power, through God, through our creator, okay?
Yes.
So have a great day today, Jamaica, and just show each other love, okay? Please, thanks. Yes, please, I thanks. Anyone have anything to add to Jamaica Independence and a shout out?
Huh?
Go ahead, yo.
No,
shut up.
No.
Okay.
You covered it. Nothing else.
All right, cool. All right. So before we go on our topic, as usual, we like to set the tone, and we do that through just taking 3 deep breaths and just align ourselves to the topic and just to you and just to this moment and be present. So let's do that at this time. Let's take a deep breath and inhale and exhale, releasing every and anything that may be on your mind at this moment. And another deep breath. And exhale. Final breath. Set the intention of what you want to receive. And exhale. That was some good breath. So good breathing there. All right. So Yolande, what's going on today?
Not much, Marsha. We're going to discuss today something that is especially dear to one of us. It's important to all of us, but this is Kia's thing, y'all. Let me tell you, Kia is all about this particular topic. And as you continue to grow with us and whatnot, let me give you a little insight. When May comes around and Kia says it's her birthday, anything you send regarding this, she'll love it.
I love it.
Just so you know. Just so you know. Let me put that out there. But before I say the word, because I know we have a mixture of listeners from faith, as in Christian and non-Christian, but also faith-based, and maybe some people that are still out there trying to figure out, I'm not sure where I land. And some people would identify themselves as spiritual, which I do. And so we want to be able to talk about this in a way that everybody can relate to. So the big word in the room is going to be energy. That's going to be the big word in the room. And I want everybody to understand that when you hear the word energy, it's not something to be afraid of. In the Christian space, they may use the word spirits, right? If you're out in like regular life, especially in Jamaica, they talk about the vibes, you know, right?
Vibes, true.
And if you move in certain other spaces, in the spiritual space, mostly you'll hear the word energy. We're all talking about the same thing. So let's establish for everybody, right? Let's establish some common things, right, that we can share with each other to let you understand that we're talking about the same thing. But I want us to talk about it in terms of like our physical experience of what we call energy. So let's share with them what feeling energy, right, might have looked like. So we establish a base that we're in the same place. So Kia, share one thing that you'd say, have you ever felt blah, 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 blah? That's energy.
Well, since it's Jamaica independence, I will go with that. My mother always said it, and now I understand it. When someone will say, my spirit don't check on. It comes into a space where when you're around somebody, something is off. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what it is, but you have this feeling where I need to stay away from this person, or something ain't right about this person. And so there's no connection. And so you rather remove yourself from the situation because there's some feeling that comes over you. You can't really explain, but it's almost, it's invisible, but you feel it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
When it says your spirit can't take her, I don't really rock with her. I can't tell you why, but there's something about that person or him that I can't rock with. And that is an example of energy because you can't explain it, but you feel it. Right?
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Marco, what you got?
Well, as you guys know, I've always been an observer. So for me, I would go with the vibes as well. But at the same time, it would also be more about whether or not I feel like something stand up in the back of my neck, or whether or not I am just like, I need to observe this person more before I even get any closer, because there's something's off here, but I don't know what it is, right? But I just know I don't feel safe. Mm-hmm. And I don't have to know you. It's just a feel. I could just walk by you and I say, ooh, don't walk back that way. Even if I'm in a supermarket and I walk down the aisle past somebody and I feel something, I am not walking back by you again, because immediately I could tell whether or not it is of a good vibration or a low frequency, right? So for me, those are the things that kind of depicts more of energy, not only to mention that, regular things such as we talk static, the static, when you tell somebody it's static, that's energy. We don't see it, but we feel it, So everything has energy. So
everything is energy. Einstein's theory of relativity. Everything is energy. And for me, one of the things I would share is, when I used to get this in church, I get it outside of church. There are times when somebody will say something, right? And you just suddenly get chills. You get goosebumps, right? That is your body responding energetically to what you heard, right? Yeah. So people say it all the time. Oh my God, I got chills. I got chills when they said that. I got chills when I heard that. That is your body responding energetically to something you heard. In the spiritual space, they say your body knows truth and it responds. For those of you who go to church, I know you've heard somebody laying down a good sermon, like dropping some serious word, and you just get waves, like chills in your body. And you're like, oh my God, when he said that, I got goosebumps. That's your body registering truth. Go ahead, Keith.
Some people say they have an out-of-body experience because something take over them. Like when you hear a good song or your emotions start to wheel up and you're like, where is this coming from? You don't even remember what is happening at that time. You just know somebody said, you just different. You just stood up and you started screaming and wailing and you don't even realize you're doing it,
Yeah.
And that is definitely.
For me, and definitely to what Yolanda just described, that body wave, that's how I get confirmation. That's how I know the power of God is in this midst right now. That's how I know he's like, yep, do that or don't do that. You ask certain question, you go, that just got it just now. You just feel that and you just know. And you're right about having a conversation, even with a total stranger, and something comes up and you both, the hair just starts standing up. It is indeed, and your head, the head just feel a little bit heavier. A confirmation that this conversation was supposed to happen. The person, the recipient is getting what they needed. I may not know what it was, but I'm just being obedient, saying what comes to my spirit. That's a form of energy, of heat aligning two energetic beings so that we can help each other to grow in love and light. So
love and light.
Love and light. Yes.
Love and light. So good. So I hope everybody is aware that we all
Yes.
can feel energy. You have sensed it at different points in your life, maybe even on a daily basis. You've experienced some of the things we've talked about. Okay, the reason why that happens is because we are actually first energy and then physical. And I know that's a lot for some people to process, so I won't go any further with that. But it has been proven, right, that our body is not just physical flesh and blood, right? We are also energetic. There is a study out there, and there are people that practice something called energy medicine. And it's a non-traditional way of performing healing using the body's energy system instead of cutting into you and stuff like that. So it's more of a natural way of dealing with the body's ailments. Okay. So, and since all three of us are healers, we've all actually studied and done some level of Reiki. I know Marsha has done other levels of energy training. And even just in the coaching work, the therapy work that we do, we are actually moving energy because your emotions are energetic.
Oh, and I want to say something. And even if you as a recipient don't feel anything, energy still what? Moving.
Present.
It's present. Yeah, it's present. And that's very important and vital for you to remember because, you know, if you try to do any of the modalities, especially being a newbie, I recently just gave a close person of mine, one of my heroes, a Reiki treatment in a sense, or a Reiki gift. And she didn't feel anything. And I said, that's okay, but it's still moving. It may show up in a day or two. Girl, 3 days later, a dream came in to work to kind of like support the fact that the work was done on the day of the treatment. You just didn't feel it, you know, especially if you're not very sensitive to energy. That's important too.
Right.
Yeah.
That's good. Talk a little bit more about that, Marsha, so people can understand. Everybody doesn't have the same sensitivity level to energy.
Right. I mean, you know, so there are empaths, and I'm an empath. So if you're an empath, you're absolutely really, really sensitive to energy around individuals. That's why I would say I would just pick it up, even just walking by in the supermarket or something like that. Or so one of the things I want to say is because if we always say practice makes perfect, right? And if you do not practice tapping into your energy and becoming one in your energy, you will never be aware of it. So therefore, you could be very sensitive, but you wouldn't know because you don't practice with it or try to align yourself and understand yourself more from an energetic perspective. So I guess that's just kind of like my explanation to it. But when you do, you become even more sensitive, even if you're not an empath. But the fact that you have been working on yourself and aligning to your energy, you will become sensitive enough to know when you're in a space that you need to get out of or be around individuals that you do not feel safe with. Yeah.
And by doing that, that's meditation. Practicing meditation helps you to become sensitive. Being able to listen to the spirit, higher consciousness helps you to be more sensitive to that energy. So again, practice makes perfect. Allowing yourself to be able to be vulnerable to that. You know, a lot of people tense up and we're not able to do it. But when you allow yourself to be vulnerable to it, over time, it will happen. You know.
Definitely. And I would say if you're not there yet, where I don't know if I know what you're talking about, get quiet.
Yes.
A lot of what we're talking about, it comes from stillness.
Yeah.
Because we live in such a busy world and we're running around like hamsters on a wheel, is the reason why we're sometimes not aware of it. Mm-hmm. We all have the capacity to feel and experience energy. The one you should know more than any other is your own. Yeah. And that does require stillness. So some of what we're saying is because you have to learn how to check out and get into solitude and listen, go within, all those other things. There's value to it. And then you start sensing energetically where you are. And by doing that, then it extends outward. So it takes some time. It can take time. Mm-hmm. Some people are already there. But for those of you that are not as sensitive yet, don't worry. It's not something you're excluded from. You can't be excluded from it because we are all energetic beings.
Yeah.
But I wanted to shift into us talking about the chakra system. The chakra system is, well, it has way more than 7, but 7 are the 7 major ones are the ones that we will touch on today. And for some people, it's like chakras. Oh my God, they're talking about some new age stuff. Da 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 da. Just a pause, sis. Clutch your pearls, but just stay with us. Take a breath, and just be with us for a little bit, so we can pour into you about what it is. Because, like some of you, we came up through Christianity, so we had some of the same apprehensions, right, that some of our listeners may currently have if they are not aware of, is it some new agey crap, and it's devilish. And when we learned about it, we found it was everything but that. Mm-hmm. So knowing that we are all energy, what they have found, and studies have been done, this is from ancient studies, like so ancient that it precedes modern medicine as we know it, right? Now we know that we didn't all come from an industrial world as we have it today. Earlier men had to use the earth, the herbs, the trees, all those things in nature. Mm-hmm. That's what they had to use to heal.
Yep.
And when we didn't have medicine to pump your body with, right? Drugs, mm-hmm. People had to use more natural things. Energy was one of the things that they understood. Some cultures understood it better than others. Okay. But the body has 7 major chakras, or we call them energy centers or energy stations. So any one of those words will work. Energy, I'm going to use energy center. Okay. There are 7 of them. And I'll show the picture. And don't judge my fingernail, y'all. I'm waiting till next week to do my nails for my 50th birthday party. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So we're going to talk about these today, right? And I am going to, the book that I'm going to source my information from is called Energy Medicine by Donna Eden. So when I learned Reiki, I also learned a little bit of energy medicine because I want to know what modalities are available for our healing that don't involve drugs. When somebody is depressed, the only way to handle depression is not with just drugs. Yeah. There are other ways. There's therapy, there's energy healing, there's all kinds of things out there that's available to help. There's breathing exercises, there's meditation. And guess what? Those things don't necessarily have to cost money. It doesn't cost you anything to sit and to breathe.
Yeah. And Yolanda,
you may
one of the things when you're talking about, one of the things too, for those who are or feel kind of scared or weary about, so that means they're going to go into my energy system or my mindset or something like that. Even Reiki is something that is even offered now at cancer centers and stuff like that to help to clear. Because if we don't clear, guess what? It's going to show up in the disease part because your body is not at ease. It's in disease. You know what I mean? So it's going to show up. So I just wanted to know that it is becoming even more prominent now, the importance of the natural remedies or modalities.
Right. So I'm going to read a little introduction into what your chakras are.
Yes.
They're major centers of both electromagnetic activity and vital energy. They're recognized in indigenous cultures the world over. In the Hana tradition of Hawaii, they're called Au centers, AUW centers. In the Kabbalah, which is a Jewish culture, they are the Tree of Life centers. In the Taoist Chinese tradition, it's called Dantian. And in yogic theory, they're called chakras. So this is not something that is isolated to one culture. Pay attention to this. This is a human experience thing. This is not unique to just one group of people, right? Same thing, called differently. Potato, right? Banan are planted. For my Haitian friends, banan.
Oh, man. Right? Guess what? I'm so sorry, everybody, because my mind is gone. Guess what? You notice that it's just me, Yolanda, Kia today? Yeah, we don't have Beatrice and Nat with us. I am so sorry, guys, because we're already in our deep topic and everything. But yeah, Beatrice and Natalie's not here with us, but they send their love to each and every one of you. And we miss them, but they're here with us in spirit. So you send them love as well, and we appreciate it. And as you were, Yolanda.
As I were. As I were. Okay, so the word chakra means disc, vortex, or wheel. Mm-hmm. Okay? Wheel. So what this does is it actually stores memory. Mm-hmm. Memory is energetically coded in your chakras, just as it is chemically coded in your neurons. Okay? An imprint of every important or emotional significant event you have experienced is believed to be recorded in your chakra energy. I'm setting that foundation because I want you to understand how important these energy stations are to your overall well-being. Okay? So you have imprints of your emotional, all significant events. It's stored here in this body, inside your chakra energetic system. Okay? So Marsha has the first two chakras. I'll hold up the thing, Marsha, so they can see while you talk. I'm going to use my pen so y'all
we're going from the first one, so Kia's going to go first. Because, yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
This one, notice where it is down here.
Yeah, so it's the root chakra. It's one of my favorite chakras to work on, right? The location is the base of your spine. Yolande showed it from the front view, but on the diagram, but it's basically the base of your spine. Now, this place,
the coccyx, down by the coccyx.
Now, this area, the root chakra, governs stability, safety, strength, security, commitment, and being grounded. What that means is basically it focuses more on, when it's balanced, it focuses on your security system, meaning life, finances, all those things are in order, right? The body.
Okay, pause here. Pause 1 second. Before she goes any further, what I should have said, so that when Kia talks about this, you understand, even these energy stations can be balanced. When they're in balance, your life, your energy, your mental state is balanced and even keeled, but they can get out of balance. This is why they're important, because if they're too much to the right, it's a problem. If it's too much to the left, and I'm not saying in terms of position, I'm just talking about it. If you are looking at a level, you want it to be balanced because that helps your body and the organs that it supports. When it's out of balance, our lives are, the way we experience ourselves and others is out of whack.
Okay. Go ahead. I like that you pointed out the spine, because that's one of the things I wanted to know. The centers are located on the spine. Right. So we see it from the front, like you said, but
starts from spine. And that's the number one, grounding, right? So when the areas that gets hit whenever it's out of balance is, of course, your spine and your pelvic floor, right? So diseases can happen in those areas when it's out of balance, right? When you're not doing, when you're not fulfilling in those areas regarding security and all those things. Those are the things that get attacked. A lot of people don't understand that diseases happen when you're out of balance, right? When you're going through trauma, when you're not healed with all this stuff, it shows up in areas of your body, your mind. What your mind goes through, your body goes through, right? So when you go through depression, it attacks your body. When you go through anxiety, it attacks your body. So I just want people to understand that. And when the root is blocked, you're dealing with fear. You're dealing with sluggish behavior, not really wanting to do nothing. You're dealing with anxiety, panic attacks, anger, and rage, depression, and overthinking. If you think about it, this can be connected to your stability. If you're not stable, if you're not focused, these things can happen to you. So all of it makes sense to me, because I see that, when you're not stable, I get anxiety. when I'm not secure, I get depressed because I don't know what's coming. I'm fearful, you know. So all of that is connected, right? But the good thing about it is when you're balanced, you feel safe, right? You're comfortable, you're confident, you get things done, you're secure. Things are happening for you. And the way that you can, we've said it before, the way that you can get in balance through meditation, through deep breathing, allowing yourself to be relaxed and then focusing on the things that you need to get done, right? So opening that up in order to do it, but in order to make things work for you in a secure manner will help, right? Now we're at the second one, sacral chakra.
So I want to add something to Root. I want to talk about a little bit what I like about Root too, or some. The fact, my easiest way grounding is just to go outside and walk on the ground. And when I think about Root, I think about the fact that we were made from the dust, you know? And so that is just my way of connecting back to the creator and just giving them back the things that may be on my mind or the things I just feel off. And I'm just asking to energize me, you know? So it's kind of like comes up, twirl it around, clean me out real quick, take it back out, let it go back in. And it's the same. I look at it also like for those who are more biblically driven, when he said, cast your burdens upon me, that's me. That's my way of standing firm on the ground, planting my feet and say, now take all this burden that is on my mind. I don't even know where it's coming from. I can't pinpoint it at this time, but I'm trusting in this space right now, breathing and just the intention is so vital. When you're doing any of what we're talking about here, your intention has to be vital to know you have to see yourself receiving what you're already asking for.
A lot of people don't understand it. I've had videos with myself explaining what some grounding exercises are. And when I take off my shoes and put my feet planted into the ground where the dirt is or the sand is or what have you, just connecting to the earth, that's what I'm doing, you know. And a lot of people don't know, but that's what you're doing. And you're focused, like you said, your intention. I need this. I need this security. Give me the tools for this security, you know. So that's just when, and when you see people with the red on or focus with the red, wearing a lot of red, some people wear red in order to focus on the root. That's the color of the chakra, red, right?
Yeah.
And there's a deeper side to it. I'm wearing my mom's earrings today. Yep. Shout out to April, right?
Yes.
Queen.
But it's also connected to our ancestry. You know, the root chakra is connected, but that's way deeper than the surface.
Yeah.
Right? So
not an episode.
Yeah.
All right. But,
can I say something real quick before you move on to womb? Because this is very connected to the work that we do. I know we had we did one episode on inner child, right? Remember we did the inner child, and so right here it says a person's earliest life experiences are imprinted on the first chakra, and they become lodged there before the brain has developed the myelin sheaths that are necessary to physically code such experience. So before the brain is even able to code those early experiences, that first chakra already has it. So when we talk about trauma, right, and healing childhood wounds, that is the chakra that we're also working with.
I also noticed, I'm so sorry, Kia, because I also noticed that, listen, one of the things I always remember to as a kid, you know, back in Jamaica, you used to run around bare feet. Yeah. We didn't have much entertainment inside the house. So we were always outside playing with our neighbors and friends, and we were always running around bare feet. We were happy. At least I was happy. I was jovial. Nowadays, you notice a lot of young kids, they're going through mental and depression. And when I look and compare, I was like, because I was connected to the earth. And I was just free. I was just free flowing, right? And so it's like I was always balancing, not knowing I was balancing. Yes. So when I think about that, I was like, interesting.
Yeah, very much. And
Yolanda's face is like, I never think about that before, but
never thought of it that way, but it's true.
I love the pitch so much. It's just the whole And y'all know I'm just learning how to swim. So it wasn't even about the swimming, right? It definitely was about just being focused and intentional about grounding myself without even knowing, you know?
Yeah.
So definitely love that chakra. And then the sacral chakra is the next one. I love this one too. All of them. Like all of them are my favorites, right? Yes, that's the sacral chakra. And as you can see where it's located, it's 2 inches below your belly button. So it's in your private, nice area, right?
Nice.
Area.
Good up.
You know? So it governs emotions, sensitivity, sexuality, sexual desires, impressions. It's all about creativity. I love that area, right? I try not to overstimulate that area either, you know. But but I love it. And when the diseases that attack that area when it's out of balance is it focuses on the urinary system, reproductive organs, kidney, and gallbladder. So whenever you have diseases in that area, you know, it's very important to focus on the sacral chakra and how to eliminate those things naturally through different types of exercises and so forth. When it's blocked, you overindulge in sexual activities, you lack interest in sex, you're codependent. A lot of people don't know about the codependency. They think it's just about sex and stuff like that. But codependency is also one of the things that happens when your chakra, your sacral chakra is blocked, right? Now, in order to open that up, I definitely, again, meditation, yoga exercises are the bomb for that. If you're not into yoga, that's fine. Do stretches, you know, that deals with the hip area, hip thrusting and all of that stuff. That is good to open it up, and deep breathing while you're doing it. Journaling, creativity about that area, about what's on your mind and all that. Just vomiting that up, journaling, that will be awesome to do.
Yeah.
Right?
It's like a great way of tapping into the hobby that you have. That, you know, you may have put away for years, or used to do this when you were younger, and you just put away, go back into whether it's painting, pottery, or whatever, you know, that we just think we're just making something, but it's stimulating that area and expanding it in all the other areas of the chakra in our body. So that's the important thing.
This is the best time when I feel blocked. I do all that journaling. I do the deep breathing, and of course, yoga is one of my go-tos. But the one thing I do, especially as it taps into my inner child, is dance. I just blast music, and I'm dancing all over the place. You know, my kids are like, "What the heck?" when they home. You know, and I'm just like, it allows you to open up and be free. This is the time when I'm starting with my African dance and all that. You know, that is the most go-to whenever I'm stuck, right? And like Marsha said, pottery, painting, all the things that are creative. That's when you would tap into that in order to burst that thing wide open in order to feel that, right? And then when it's balanced, your mind starts to create more, right? This is when entrepreneurs start thinking things like, what should I add to my business, and all these other things. We create more. Feminine energy. What can I do to just light up myself? You know, strong sense of sexuality. You are confident. You are sensual. You are ready to go. And this is for both masculine and feminine energies, because at the end of the day, men got to be confident too. You know, the thing is unisex. It's not just one gender. So when you are balanced, you are focused. You're not overindulging. You're balanced. You're confident. You are standing in your truth. You are focused on your sexuality, and you start creating more positive things for your life. So definitely a place where I would start if you are an entrepreneur. Definitely a place I would start if you've been through trauma, sexual trauma. I would definitely do womb exercises. There's a host of things that you can do in order to clear that area. So yeah, those are the two that I got. And the color is orange. You know, we're orange. Orange area.
Okay. Now I got my little chart again. Marsha, did you have to add before I move on to the next
chakra
one?
has so much power that I think we sometimes sleep on it, because oftentimes we see that area as just a reproductive system or a pleasure system, and that bad baby can shift a lot of our systems. Okay, I just want to remind you of that, because if you ever, once again, everything's about intention, ever tap into that and ask and try to manifest something, or just to want to re-engage with you, it will work. That sacral chakra is, as we'll say, the bomb. Yes. The bomb. Yes. I think it's looking up.
Yeah. And how could we forget that the whole, if you are in the, because I know divine feminine is rising right now, and a lot of us are finding that we're tapping more into our femininity. If you're doing anything in the space of femininity, you have to work with your sacral. You have to work with that particular chakra, because that is where you're going to find the true you, actually. Because when Kia was talking about to become childlike again, that innocent version of you, that's where it lives. And when we're tapping into our femininity, we kind of need to go back to the part of us before life hit us, before things changed. Yeah. The innocent, purest form of you. When you're working with that to get back there, the sacral chakra is where you need to look, because that's where your memories are stored. And then you'll start getting more and more memories, just like Marsha was talking about the person that did some work on one chakra, and then the dream days later confirmed it. You'll start getting new memories, like, oh my gosh, I remember when I forgot I used to do that, right? And you'll see some of that coming, but we need to do the work in that area if we are to tap into our true feminine. So that was the last thing I had to say on that. Okay, so let's continue up the spine to chakra number 3. The color for this chakra is yellow. Some people call it the navel chakra. The Sanskrit for it is Manipura. And it's called the solar plexus. The solar plexus. And the solar plexus governs our desire and our sense of self, our identity. How do we identify ourselves? It also governs the ego. So, for people that are into elements, it corresponds to the element of fire. And it governs our digestive system, the ego impulse, and the emotion, in particular, anger. What?
Mom? No. This is just me bigging up Jamaica again, independence. That's all. Couldn't see the child.
So this is the reason why, or you should, well, let me put it this way. A lot of times when we have emotional disturbances, right, we get our digestion becomes out of whack, right? You either overeat or you don't eat enough, right? And that is evidence that, oh, hun, your solar plexus is a little out of whack there. Okay. You need to work. When we work with that area, then we release whatever is creating the emotional stuff. If you find yourself, in anger a lot, your solar plexus is probably out of balance, right? You're having a lot of digestive issues. Your solar plexus needs to be worked on, sis. And if you're finding yourself in ego a lot, and when we're in ego, we only tend to defend or are in defense of self versus the other, which means we are not really working in communion with others. We're in defensive posture, and we're getting in our way, honestly. And we have to work with that particular chakra to clear the imbalance and to make sure that we're leveled out. Then you're more even keeled and you can get along with others. Then your ego is not leading the conversations. You're able to hear the other, see the other, be with the other, right? Be in community and communion with others. And then our digestive system will start to balance out. Stop running to the bathroom because your nerves are off. You know what I mean? right? Or we start taking care of our health a little better, right? Or maybe you're releasing, you know what I'm talking about, going to the bathroom on a regular basis. So not diarrhea, right? And not constipation. Constipation kind of means that you're holding on to things and you're not letting go. And so the body also freezes up. So that solar plexus response, it affects the digestive system. And when we're constipated, the body is telling you, your energy is saying, honey, you're holding on to some things and you need to let them go.
Yeah.
They're energetically constipated. But the body gives you here's the thing that I want to add. Our body is not just some physical thing. It gives you feedback on your emotional and energetic states. So when you're constipated, you're not doing a good job of
one of the things
things.
when I was being introduced to chakra and the system is that, you know, oftentimes when we go through the heartbreak and we like, oh, my heart hurts and you can't eat and everything. But technically, it's in your solar plexus where all the feelings are. You know, you just like, my stomach just feels weird or something. It's that emotion, that disappointment, that pain, it all lodges there. And that was something I was in awe when I found out, because in my head, I would just always thought about your heart. Your heart is where you feel that emotion. And that's where you're going to know I have a heartbreak or something like that. But it's actually solar plexus.
Yeah, because they said that I've heard Iyanla says it a lot too, I think. Iyanla Vanzant, that the stomach or your belly is the seat of your emotions. Yep. We carry our emotions there. You know, the whole gut instinct
about it is
that's down there. Go ahead, Keith.
It starts in your gut, you know. So
in the stomach.
When we connect things to our energetic, when we connect the diseases to the energetic field, the energetic, you know, to the chakras, you notice that where the seat is where most diseases start. And so in order to eliminate the idea of having diseases or preventative maintenance, it is to do certain things to clear that area first and foremost. Although the root is the first chakra, when I started doing healing for myself, I started with my solar plexus.
Yeah, me too. I did too.
My business out there, but I was definitely constipated all the time.
Dude, I had mad digestive issues. Yes.
So it definitely has a lot to do that. Yeah, you're eating and all that, but like you said, when you're emotionally eating and all these things, your digestive system is definitely jacked up. You know, so I would definitely urge anyone who's starting out with their healing journey and want to add the energy centers to their healing journey. Start with your solar plexus.
Yeah,
you know, open up to get help. Like I said, your ego is there, and your ego overtakes you when it comes to your solar. So you don't even want help, but when you clear that, you're going to want help. You know, so that's very important. So
I wanted to read something from the book because I want to make sure we don't miss any of the other organs. So the third chakra holds an energy of discrimination and assertion. It is sometimes called the power chakra. As usual, though, the truth is more complex than the simple name that we give it. The third chakra encompasses the area between the navel and the rib cage. So it's the navel up, right? It governs more organs than any other chakra, to speak to what Kia was saying, right? On its right side are the liver and the gallbladder. On the left side are the spleen, the stomach, and the pancreas. In the upper center of the chakra is the diaphragm, so your breathing is affected. The kidneys and the adrenals are toward the back, right? And every one of these organs carries a rhythm and acts as a force field within the larger field of the chakra. So it's a whole lot of work going on in that chakra, right? And each contributes to the complex task of carving a distinct individual out of the infinite possibilities of your inheritance. So when we say it's doing a lot of work, right? Each organ's function in your body parallels its role in your emotional life. Now, this is the part I want you to get. Consider the organs within the third chakra. As the filtering system that detects toxins in your bloodstream, the kidneys are your prototype for fear and caution, for detecting and eliminating that which is dangerous. As a factory that breaks down whatever is harmful for your system, the liver is your prototype for self-protective anger. As the alarm system that triggers great rushes of energy for emergencies, the adrenals are the prototype for the panic response that mobilizes you in a crisis. That's your fight or flight. As the body's producer of metabolic juices, the pancreas is the prototype for assimilating what you can embrace. And as the organ that sends stale air out of your body, the diaphragm is the prototype for grieving and finding closure with whatever is passing out of your life. So these are the chakra. It's doing some work, and the energy is working with these organs to keep you balanced. Yeah. So these are important centers to work with, y'all. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't want to spend no more time because we have several more to go. I want to show you this one.
Yes.
I love this one. The color for this one is green. It's called the Anahata, and it's the heart chakra. Okay. It's located right here. You know, like everybody knows, you just touch right here. The energy actually is right across here. It's
Look, learn something new every day.
To the
Didn't
heart
know that part. You know?
Yeah. But they call it the heart chakra, right? And that one, I'll tell you what it says. Love, forgiveness, compassion, self-esteem. Okay? It works with the element of air. It works with your circulatory system, because that's what the heart does. It circulates blood, right? The individual soul, the individualized soul, right? And the emotion of love. So yes, you hear heart, you hear love. So this is where our love memories are stored. Hey. This is where your heart breaks. That's why when your heart breaks, it hurts up here. It hurts right in this area. When you're feeling sad, unloved, this is where you feel it. That tightening of the chest. That's the body responding. That's the energetic response to what's going on. Marsha, I want to know what that is.
Also, when you're having a difficult time, open up yourself to someone, in a relationship, it's because your heart chakra has a blockage going on there. Whether it was caused by, childhood trauma, whether it's caused by past relationships or something like that. But if you're having a big time trust issue and opening up your heart and having a hard time forgiving, heart chakra needs some work. Yeah. And I don't know why I went low like that. It's just something that I had to say in this tone. It just came to me this way, and I just want to remind whoever this needed to hear this, So, yeah.
It's true. Yeah. We see, hear, and feel other people through the filter of the heart chakra. And so when they say that you can only love another to the extent that you love yourself, it is true. Because how you love and how you feel about yourself, sis, is how you're going to treat other people. That's how you see, hear, and feel other people. That's how you make judgments, right? Because that determines your nature. And so when we talk about the heart chakra, yes, it's all the love, it's all the emotions and whatnot. But self-love is a big thing these days, right? And when you're working on self-love, this is the chakra that you tap into, okay? It evaluates actions according to the probable increase or decrease of love in the world. Oh, my God. I love the way they put that. And it says the person whose heart chakra is dominant is guided more by heart than head, feeling than thought, and love more than logic. Right? So, what are you living by? Do you make your choices based on love, or do you make it based on your head? If you're making more of your choices by head,
the fear factor.
Then it says that you're afraid to love. The fear factor. And fear. And we got to drop back down to that solar plexus and do some work. or drop back down to the roots because what's causing the fear. So all of these are interrelated. So when people start having heart trouble, I know some people are born with, like a valve wasn't developed properly or things like that. But as we go through life and the heart starts to get calcitrant and the main arteries start becoming blocked, just think to yourself how clogged or blocked that heart chakra must be for the actual heart itself to manifest those physical properties of blockage. So we have to do the work to keep ourselves clear because the organs that are part of that chakra system gives a physical response to the state of that energy.
No, I think that was beautifully
said. Anything you girls want to add?
I love that. And of course, it's green.
Yeah, some people may say pink, but it's
green.
It's green.
Yeah.
It's green. Yeah.
Yes. Let's go to the throat. The throat.
I ain't got no.
Marsha's gonna take it from here. The throat.
Well, the throat chakra. This is the color blue, and the purpose is communication. It's if you have a problem with your voice, your throat, any problem associated with areas surrounding your throat, like your teeth, your gums, your mouth, could be an indication that there's some blockage going on there. And other ways of knowing if you have a blockage, if you like to dominate conversation, if you are big on gossiping overload, speaking without thinking, and having trouble speaking your mind are all indications that you should take a look. Something is going on with your throat chakra. And it's so funny that I'm the one talking about this because I've so experienced blockage in my throat chakra, and it's just becoming aligned with my throat chakra because of the fear of being judged and ridiculed, not me being confident in my voice. I also even remember when I was in school, you may know the answer to something. I want to bring up a valid point and you second guess yourself and you don't use that voice to say it. And then somebody will say it and you're like, that's what I was about to say. Throat chakra needs to open up, when it is balanced or in alignment, you speak, but not only you speak and listen with compassion, right? You feel more confident when you speak because you're not operating on an ego system. You're more tapping into that spiritual system, right? And you also start to feel more true to your words and yourself because you now recognize that you're no longer afraid, you're no longer shy, and you know it's okay for you to speak up. We're not trying to say for you to go out there and just try to start stuff so that other people feel bad. That's why it comes back with speaking with compassion and love. And I'm going to throw in light in there. Okay. Anything for you guys regarding throat chakra? Any experience you may have had that you want to share with our audience? Now we can move to the next one.
I think mine was overactive at one point.
Oh, yeah?
Mine was overactive at one point, and now it's balanced. And the overactive, with the anger and the speaking without thinking, and because it was all protection, that was defense mechanisms happening, And so I went from that to not speaking at all, holding things in, not speaking up for myself, allowing people to say what they got to say, what have you. And now I finally found a balance where speak with compassion, or if you don't have nothing nice to say, keep it to yourself, or make sure that people understand being assertive, but not overbearing and, or, angry or whatever the case may be. So it is very difficult. It's not just within yourself and making sure that, your voice is heard, but it's also when you are connecting with others, like your spouse, your partner, whoever, and making sure that you're an effective listener as well as someone who can speak with compassion and not with, emotions that's out of whack.
One of the important things, Bible talk about life and death is in the power of the tongue. Yeah. That's how powerful this thing is. That's how powerful your throat is, So that's why it's important what comes out, how you say it, your delivery. That is also something, the energy attached to the words. That's where the life and death part comes in. The intention that comes out with the word is the energy that whether it cuts or makes it bloom, So,
there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I just love how everything is connected. Yolanda just finished talking about the heart and compassion, and there you go, talking about the throat and speaking with
Yeah.
compassion.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everything is
Yeah.
connected.
Yeah.
It has to
And then
exactly. The one thing I wanted to add though is one of the big things about the throat chakra for me, and I didn't realize it at the time because I didn't know yet about the chakra system, is speaking your truth.
Yeah.
And not in anger. Speaking your truth in love. In love. You know, a lot of people are not, we don't necessarily start out there. Are there people that can speak truth?
Or defensive.
But it's an angry truth.
Yeah.
You know, it's a very defensive thing. But to be able to speak up for yourself and to speak your truth without needing to
yes,
for your truth to be qualified.
Honey. That's yes.
Right there. Yeah. And it takes a while. You don't get there overnight, but realizing that your truth, when you speak it, it doesn't need to be qualified. It's just your truth. Yeah. And being able to do that, not shy away, not hang out in the back. This is what I feel. This is my opinion on it. And also being able to speak it and understand that that is your perspective and that is your truth.
Yeah.
It does not have to be fact for anybody else. And be okay with that. Yeah. So we don't have to be angry or upset when others don't agree with our truth because your truth stands unqualified.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
We're gonna go on to our sixth chakra. Yes. So that is the third eye, aka the brow chakra. It's located between the eyes, on the forehead. The color is indigo, and the purpose is intuition, imagination. I remember a lot of people will probably be afraid of this because of the eye right there, you know. Definitely, no, none of that. But just imagine that there is not an eye. It's just an invisible one, actually, you know, and it's just that you are now being opened and tapped in a beautiful way. If you have blockages in this area, what you can experience are headaches, problem with sight or concentration. You can also experience hearing problems, and you being the Miss Know-It-All also is an indication that you have a blockage there. You have trouble listening, right? When you're balanced, when you have a balanced third eye, you're more able to see the bigger picture. You're more in one and trust the things that comes to you from that you know you did not think about, but it just happened to come. You know that it's not you. In other words, when I think about third eye, I always also think about those who are prophetess, visionary. They also call them seers, you know, and I want to say oftentimes when I was first learning about this and learning, someone would say your third eye is blocked. And I was like, what does that mean? I didn't understand that at all. And I expected magnificent things to happen where I'm always seeing things. And when your third eye is open, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to see things in that way. You just could have a feeling of knowing. Something just comes to you and you just feel like, okay, I felt led to give this lady this $10 in my hand. So I'm just going to say, hi, how are you doing? Just led to give you that. And that's that. That's you having an open third eye. In other words, some people actually do experience that actual vision of things, because I've experienced that too. I've seen things just played like a movie scene right in front of my face. And the first time it happened, I was like, what in the world was that? And I remember I ended up having to call one of her teachers, Yolanda, and I was like, what was this? Just happened to me. And this is when I was first getting into it. I actually love the third eye. I really do, because it shows up in so many ways in your dreams. You know, you get messages in your dreams. You just be walking on the road and someone comes to you with a message. That's also a part of that connection with the third eye and your intuition. So,
Talk about the inner sense, because the third eye is connected to the inner sense as well, the inner sense of perception.
So meaning
and
like,
intuition.
even I touched on it a little bit, but not in depth. So the inner sense is you connected. Let's see how we could say it without, to the better version of you. Some call it the higher self, in other words, but that's the version of you that you didn't know existed. It helps you to get to another level when you have an open third eye, another level of consciousness, thus going up to another level of Christ consciousness, being more aligned with God wants for you. And it also allows you to shut out outside noise. And that's how you get connected with that intuition and hear that inner voice, that inner you, that, people would say that soft whisper, in other words. I can share an experience where and I never thought about it, just came to me, so I guess it is connected. When I got not a part of the third eye, it just came to me, and I said, okay, let me share. And this time I was full-fledged in church, everybody, y'all. I was full-fledged in church, right? And was married to my daughter's father at the time, and we were at a marriage retreat. The marriage retreat ended, and I wanted to go upstairs before we gave back the hotel room key to, do grown folks business, married folk business real quick, right? And so I was like, babe, let's go back up in another room before we give back the key. And he actually wanted to talk to the presenters. So he said, give me a minute, let me talk to the presenters, and then we could do that. I'm standing by myself. No one is around. And all of a sudden I heard, when you go back in the room, you're going to get pregnant. That is also an indication of the third eye open, and I didn't know anything about that. It is just that I was in that space without me knowing. I was tapped in, and lo and behold, that exactly happened. That was a Sunday. The Monday I went to work, a friend come to me right at my desk. She didn't even go and sit down. She's like, "Don't you have something to tell me?" And I said, "No." She said, "I had a dream about you last night. You're pregnant with a girl, and she's special." And I was like, "Girl." Then I remembered, oh snap, that thing happened yesterday, so connection, that for me, I see as a connection with third eye in a way. What? Yeah, the sixth sense. It is the sixth sense. Yeah.
It's almost like the sixth sense. It's like,
that was my mom's asset.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I even Yolanda knows this. I was getting ready to make sure she was straight before I knew she would pass. And I didn't know it at the time that I was just following the spirit. Who gets up and says, hey, Yolanda, I need some insurance for my mom. And making sure that everything, she's healthy. That's in my mind, other than the Alzheimer's, So having to do that without questioning, but hearing that I need to do it, right? Something that's telling me to do it. And then mom passed away before she passed. While I was driving to the hospital, I just heard the spirit says she's gonna die, but you're gonna be okay.
Wow! I just got chills when you said that.
Wow!
It was like a comforting.
Yeah.
This is what's gonna happen.
I'm preparing.
Like, you know what's about to happen.
Yeah.
But you're gonna be okay.
Yeah.
And it was then when I started getting dreams here and there. I always see myself as a clairvoyant person, the person who sees things before it actually happens. But I don't see it. I hear it.
Yep. And feel it. Yep. Yeah.
And it was scary. And even talking about it to people, they were like, oh, so you psychic or something? But even about and then even about that, I don't even know what to call it. Maybe it's psychic. I don't know.
It is a part of the abilities, of which everybody has. It's just a tap in type of thing. Yeah. Yes. Fun. Yeah. Yeah. And then
things that happen.
Vulnerable.
Or whatever.
I like that.
I told them what was going to happen.
I like that.
I said, I don't know who it is, but here it is.
Yeah.
And it's scary because my husband was like, you called this on me? I'm like, how did I call it on you? I'm telling you it's going to happen. He was like, yo, this is crazy.
Yeah.
But it is a beautiful thing.
Wow.
And you no longer fear it.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
You know?
And you know what?
Yes.
So it's also
Yes.
important because
It's
for me, when
true.
I started experiencing it, I would ask, I love asking God for confirmation. I always ask him for 3. Ask for your confirmation. Have that type of relationship with God where you can say, okay, this came in my spirit. I wasn't thinking about it. So you had to put here, give me confirmation for me to know I am not in my own
Yes.
head. I'm not going cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. You know what I mean? So it's okay to do that for real.
Yes.
And he shows up. You will get your confirmation.
Right.
This is how I can know whether or not ego's playing a role or not. So
You was
important stuff. Yeah.
Yep. Right. For the way it affects me is, I know things without knowing how I know it. That's how my third eye shows up for me. And initially, I would just second guess what I was getting,
Something
what I
just
was
happened,
picking
right?
up, and God,
Something just happened? Did something
You're
just
like-
happened? No, something just happened. Okay.
No, that really. Yes, I remembered something because I was like, God has a way of finding people to teach you about
Yeah.
your gifts. When
Yeah.
when God realizes she's not gonna understand what she's carrying, and so I have one friend in particular that I know for sure was assigned to me. It was a new friend. It was a new friend, not an old friend. It was a new friend. We didn't walk the same path. We didn't go to church together or nothing. But that friend is the one that made me aware of that, because she's the one that would say to me, "You are so on it and you don't even know it." And she's the one that started teaching me how to trust what I was getting from this sixth sense. I would start conversations with her. Yeah. I would start conversations with her and she would say, "There you go. You're all up in my business." And I didn't even tell you. You didn't even know that that was on my mind. I would call people because they fell on my mind. I would call them and I would end up giving them a word, or the conversation would go in a certain direction. They were like, "This was going on with me. I never said it to anyone. And here
Yes.
you come."
All
giving
the time, yes.
Right? And so
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
happens all the time. And so, but now it's normal. So if I wake up one
Yeah.
morning
Yeah.
and I feel Marsha, I just call Marsha. I
Yeah.
just call her.
Yeah.
I don't have an agenda. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
I just know I'm supposed to call Marsha, and I call her. And usually the conversation
Yeah.
goes somewhere where she needed something or I needed something, from that conversation. But I wanted to point this out because this part right here, there's a lot of people in psych homes
True.
that really have open third eye. But I'm going to read this part. Some people need only meditate or direct their attention toward the heavens, and they find themselves feeling their oneness with the cosmos, with God, their connection with the realm of the spirit. Their crown chakra is developed, opened, and in harmony with their other chakras. Here's the piece. People in Western cultures whose crown chakras are wide open, however, are more likely to receive psychiatric medication than the instruction that would help them likely to receive. Then more likely to receive psychiatric medication than the instruction that would help them become more balanced and grounded. Grounding, here's about grounding comes from the bottom three chakras. So root, sacral, and solar plexus. People with only a strong seventh chakra may have
No, but it's fine. No. Let's go. That's you're right on. Let's go in the crown. We're in the crown. Yep. Let's go in the crown.
Right on time. Okay.
We're talking about the crown
because we have to talk about the crown. We have to talk about the crown, and clearly I jumped over the crown. Let me tell you something. There's people in crazy houses today that the only thing they have is because they don't have people that understand this energetic system, why they are on meds. When all they need is for somebody to guide them and balance it out for them. And this is important to know, because when people hear these things, they're like, it's airy-fairy, it's new age. No, people are getting medicated when they don't need to be.
Always.
And that's the problem. Western culture over-medicates.
Yeah.
The first thing they do is write you a prescription. They put you on drugs. And there are alternative methods and modalities available.
So we're
for
talking
people
about
to
crown,
do
and of which we all are
to
talking about
balance
crown.
themselves
Crown
out.
is
But go ahead, let's talk about this
Marsha,
crown
before
chakra.
you get to the crown, a lot of what Yolande said about the crown, it also connects to the third eye.
Yeah, it does. That's why I told her it was fine. Let's flow in it. Yes.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Because even with what you said about psychiatric, that's my line of work, and working with people with bipolar, schizophrenia, and certain things. Yes, it's out of whack, and that's why they become violent. That's why they become certain things. But if they had, like you said, if they had somebody to tell them, hey, you want to clear this up over here, you want to be able to accept this over here, and how to balance this over here. If they had people that could help them with that, they will be just fine. It's the fact that you don't know you don't know where it's coming from. It's too much. It's overstimulated, and this is what happens. So you are totally spot on. That's why I treat everybody the same.
Yes.
Yeah.
Treat everybody
Yeah.
the same, because you don't know who you're speaking to that might have something for you, but
Yes.
because they are labeled,
Yeah.
you call
Yeah.
it.
I would
But-
say even a madman could come and bring you wisdom, some God
They're
wisdom.
labeled.
And so, like, the
True.
third eye is kind of like the prerequisite for the crown, in other words. When this is open, your higher level of consciousness, the crown, located at the very top of the head.
Yeah.
The color is violet or white, and the purpose is awareness and intelligence. And we are talking about conscious intelligence, Christ-like intelligence, you becoming one with God in such a beautiful way. It is linked to every other chakra and organ in this system. It affects the brain and the nervous system, and it is connected to our life's purpose and spirituality, because that's our God. That's our God consciousness, that crown. Yeah. And so cosmic love. Yes. If it is blocked, how do you know your crown is blocked? You're very narrow-minded. You cannot think outside of the box. You're very skeptical of everything people said, and you're absolutely stubborn with it as well. And when we are balancing the line, it helps to keep the other chakras open and flowing, because we want that to happen. It's like, think of a vacuum in a way. You exercise bliss and happiness. You know what I mean? You see the little things and in awe of the little things. And you're enlightened by those little things. You're enlightened by the smile on your face. You're enlightened by the way the butterfly just came and surrounded you. You're just seeing God. You learn to see God in everything. In everything. And I think oftentimes people would say, God is the creator. You cannot worship the creation as a God. But you see him in the creation. And it's not you are connected in such a way. It's not your worshiping the creation. You're just accepting the gifts that your creator gave to you. So you are being grateful. And we all know the energy of gratitude shifts and breaks up foundations, So that part right there I can understand, but leave that be, So
true. On the other part, the other thing that the crown is connected to is your central nervous system. Of course, the head, the cerebral cortex, the upper spine, here, and hair. Hair, the hair on your head. I think that's why, if you notice, sometimes when women go through certain major shifts, what do? We cut the hair.
And then when you are indeed becoming more spiritual, more conscious, you notice, you feel it when people touch your crown. I can feel the energy. I can feel it lifted, and I was like, "Take your hand off my crown," because I feel the energy.
You can feel it.
No, it is too uncomfortable, especially if you could tell this is not what I need at this moment. I don't care if it's a partner, lover, friend. It doesn't matter. So
and that's crazy, because I used to allow people to touch it, but it was a very sensitive part of my body. Now you cannot touch my head unless you're in my head, and even those who cut my hair, there's a connection that gotta be there. Just not anybody can be in my head anymore.
So I know that we've been talking a long time, and we're just going to wrap it up real quickly here. This is just so exciting. I think we're just going to end up having to either do a live or a part 2 where we could bring on some practitioners as well, so that you guys can have more hands-on type of knowledge as to how to work with the 7 major chakras. So we're going to go into our soul gem. And of course, this is where we do leave you a tool so you could take with you for the month and play with it and see if it works for you. I know Kia is going to do a little breathing for us. But before we do that, I just want to talk about just this mantra that I say when I want to reset myself. Even before I go into breathing, or even when I'm in the shower, I do this. Because the beautiful thing about the shower, y'all, when you let that wash all over you, that's another way of clearing. You just say in your prayers and just watching any other energies that was attached to you from the day, any thoughts you have in your mind that is not serving you, you just see it, pray, and see it go down the drain. Imagine all of that going down the drain. So what I normally say, and I would repeat this 3 times, let there be light where I am, that I am. Let there be light where I am, that I am. Let there be light where I am, that I am. That is the light consciousness of God. That is where, that's what I want to be around me. Wherever I am, that's how I want His protection and His loving light to be around me. This is something you can do as you try to understand more about the chakra. You could be driving, taking a shower, sitting down, regardless of what, nobody knows. You're just saying this in your head. Let there be light. Where I am, that I am. I'm calling the energy and the power of God to be with me wherever I go. That's very vital. Yeah.
It's a deep breathing exercise. Yes. It can be anything.
I love that.
I'm sure they have a lot on YouTube. If you punch it in, deep breathing exercise for anxiety, depression, or what have you. But I would like to do just one, not too long, just to give you an idea of how it feels when you're clearing your mind and allowing yourself to keep still, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm going to invite you to close your eyes, and your hands are palm up on your lap. And then you're going to take a deep breath in, hold it, and then I'm going to count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, release. And then take another deep breath in, hold it. I'm going to count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, release. And this time I'm going to ask you to take a deep breath in and hold. And then slowly exhale. Again, inhale. And slowly exhale. And now, right after 3. 1, 2, 3. One, two, three.
I thought of this morning. It's so beautiful that you did I thought of this morning. Oh my gosh, yes. So utilize these soul gems. Yeah. Yes, it does. Yeah.
And many times you don't take the time out to just have that moment. And you don't have to do how exactly I did it, but just taking the time to take a deep breath in and allow yourself to stay silent, close your eyes to everything, and try not to think of nothing but your breath, paying attention to your breath. Yeah. That's important.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. That was beautiful. So as we go into our soul plates, this is just reminders for today's conversation. Remember, our crown is our unity. Our third eye provides clarity. Our throat is our truth. Our heart is our love. Our solar plexus, empowerment. Our sacral, creativity. And our root, trust. Tap into those 7, y'all. Tap into it. Don't be afraid of it. And also, share this video. Yes. Like our YouTube page. Just a reminder. Like our Facebook page, okay? Our YouTube channel, Facebook page, rather. And thank you so much for spending time with us. Anything before we say bye? No? All right. Well,
thank you.
It doesn't. Yes. Yeah. And we will also put some resources in the description box in our YouTube channel, so that you can also do some additional reading and research on your own. Okay, we love you very much. One love always. Yeah. Wow, good. Bye, y'all.
Good.